With Kevin Durant joining the Houston Rockets, a lot of folks had the Houston Rockets as the favorite to win the West, if not the favorite, right behind the OKC Thunder. You got a Hall of Famer in Kevin Durant, one of the best scorers the game has seen, joining a nucleus of young guys who are going to grow together, who got a defensive-minded coach who going to make their players play the right way. They play inside out. But the only thing that was missing from this team was a guy you could throw the ball to in the clutch down the stretch and get a bucket. The Houston Rockets lacked that. Jalen Green was not that guy. And the rest of the guys, they couldn't get open because, you didn't really have to respect anyone on the offense like that. But now, with a guy like Kevin Durant, it opens up everything. Everyone's an option now. Kevin Durant and Apreen Sengun, they're going to be so great playing together. But with Fred van Vleet going down, that was a big hole. You lose a guy who won a championship, who's been clutching this league, who was one of the main guys knocking down clutch shots in this past playoffs. You lose him, and everybody's panicking. What will the Houston Rockets do now? Their championship window has closed now. Kevin Durant will never win another championship. He will never win a championship without Stephen Curry. This is just sad. I can't believe it. What will the Rockets do? Maybe they should call Russell Westbrook. Really? Folks really think the Rockets should give Russell Westbrook a call? Do y'all remember how he played with the Rockets when he was there before? He was awful. Teams would just let him shoot, and he would shoot the Rockets out of games. Do you remember that Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook, they don't have the best relationship? They don't really like each other? If it wasn't for KD leaving Westbrook, Westbrook feels he would have a championship already. And Westbrook feels he got done dirty by KD by going joining Steph instead of sticking it out and going to war again. So there's a lot of history between them two. I don't really want to see them two team back up, man, because as soon as things are not going how it should, Russell Westbrook is going to be the main guy out. They're going to blame Russell Westbrook for everything. And it's a shame because Westbrook is one of the best point guards to ever play the game. I just think the game has passed him by to where his skill set is no longer needed in the NBA. Russell Westbrook played with the Denver Nuggets. He was good for 60% of the time. But you see the other 40%, he was real bad. And that 40% when he was bad is when the team really needed him the most. You feel me? So, looking at the Houston Rockets, I say they do need to go get another point guard. But I say it's time for Reed Sheppard to take the next step. If I'm Reed Sheppard, I'm kind of offended that folks are not giving him a chance to be that guy. I'm looking for Reed Sheppard to ball out this year. But you always need some insurance. And bringing in a guy like Jrue Holiday would make this team even better than it was with Fred van Vleet. Because Jrue Holiday is one of the best defenders of all time, especially at his position. He has 2 championships. He can become a leader on this team with KD. KD not really a leader. I look at Jrue more of a leader than him. With Jrue Holiday game, I think it fits perfectly with the Houston Rockets. We know he gonna defend. He can knock down the 3 ball. He can assist. But most importantly, you could tell Jrue, look, when they go play OKC Thunder, I'm going to need you to hop on SGA. You may not be able to stop him all the way, but I know you're good enough to slow him down. That's your job for this game. for this series. You know, they didn't have a guy like that. Yeah, they got Amen Thompson. He's becoming one of the best defenders in the game. But just look how great Amen Thompson can become learning from a guy like Jrue Holiday, who got similar skills as him. He can learn a lot from Jrue Holiday, man. Like, for real. I think the Houston Rockets really need to take a look at trying to trade for Jrue Holiday. Because Jrue Holiday is with the Portland Trail Blazers right now, and he's wasting the rest of his years in the NBA. The Portland Trail Blazers are in rebuild mode. Yeah, they brought Damian Lillard back across there, but Jrue Holiday doesn't want to be a part of that. You know what I'm saying? He needs to go to a championship contender. Ime Udoka, get on the phone and make it happen, bruh. Because the Houston Rockets need it. They need that other defensive guard to help out Amen Thompson. You know, because the Rockets, they got rid of Cam Whitmore, Jalen Green, and now they lose Fred van Vleet. That's a lot to replace. You know, you could replace some of their offensive numbers with guys that know how to play defense, man. Jrue Holiday, one of the best in the game, bruh. You know? Bringing in a guy like Jrue Holiday, you could start him or bring him off the bench. You feel me? Can't you imagine that lineup with Jrue, Amen Thompson, defensively? Them boys locking up everything. Then you throw Jabari Smith up in there, who's a good defender. You got Kevin Durant with all that length. Still got Steven Adams. Like, this could be a top 3 defensive team. You know? Let's see what the Houston Rockets going to do, man. Because if they don't make a move, I don't think they're the second best team in the West if they don't bring in a guy like Jrue Holiday. You know? Bringing in a guy like Jrue Holiday, you don't even really got to pay that much to get him. You know? Like, he's at the end of his career. He's not going to demand big money like that for a chance to come and get your 3rd championship. Man, I would take that opportunity in a heartbeat, man. A chance to win your 3rd championship with your 3rd franchise. Man, that's history, man. Not that many guys can say they done won 3 championships with 3 different franchises, man. Like, for real. I know LeBron can say it and probably a few other guys, but that list is real short, man. Y'all let me know. Who do you think the Houston Rockets should sign? And do you think that Jrue Holiday would be a perfect fit for the Houston Rockets? Until next time, this Sports Savvy TV. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. And I'll see y'all on the next one, people.